Alrighty, Sharp Customs. We're rolling on a Saturday, just after lunch. Yeah, still got my Java, but we're gonna give you a little short video. We decided. Previous video, I was laying up the jet boat. We'll get to that. There's the. I wanted to show you the. Not almost finished, not 100% finished, but look at the size of this stupid T-Rex. Here, I gotta grab a tape measure. Well, I put my hand by his head. The thing is freaking huge. I mean, you could make it bigger. He's like 32 inches long, nose to tail, and a little over a foot. But yeah, crazy. Crazy. Yeah, he's multicolored because he's going to need painted. Didn't have enough spools of just one color.
How many hours?
About 40 hours. About 40 hours to print that thing. You know, certain pieces like this green rock, yeah, that's what we call it, the mossy rock that's holding them, which isn't... it holds them pretty good. It holds them up pretty good. I was thinking with this 3D print would have been pretty cool to print it in clear, and underneath, you know, the bottom of his all the bits and pieces inside his head, you know, maybe all the way down one side of the tail. You could have run a LED strip, so you could have used it as, you know, kind of like a night light at night on your dresser. You know, for a kid, not for me. It's not for me. It's for a little kid, you know. But he's going to take care of painting it. I'm not paint. I could paint it for him, but no. I was actually going to put it in a box, you know, like a model. But I ended up putting it together because it was a little complicated. You know, some of the pieces needed, you know, model glue because they're multiple pieces. They're supposed to be one piece. Like, if, for instance, this bone was supposed to be one piece, but for some reason they wouldn't stay standing up in the print. But enough about that. I'm going to grab my coffee. We're going to come over to the jet boat. Oh, by the way, the coupe that was in the shop with the front end off of it, it's back together. I put that back together yesterday. My little repair on the straight axle, and got it bolted back in. Today I'm doing some fiberglass, so that grill shroud, I should have it over here so I don't forget. I gotta laminate a little piece of plywood on the back of it so it can be fastened to the front of the car on the bracket I made properly. Every time I do stuff, it's like I forget the little things, you know. I got a grill shroud up there on the yellow car, because, you know, we destroyed the one that was on it, Baja on it, over the snowbank, and it's just a white grill shroud, so that one has to come off and be painted yellow to match. But I'll probably do that when I do a fiberglass jet boat, because I get painted up the same colors to match, you know, that coupe. Maybe I'll give it a different paint job, but I'm just gonna finish this. And then we'll have a look at this. So I got it all laid up. I did the bottom first, and I just used the old fiberglass. That's why it's off the bottom of my roll, and that roll is ancient. It sat in the corner of my dad's garage for years upon years upon years. It was in a bag, but the one end of the bag was open, exposed, and it just, from over, yeah, I'm talking 20 plus years, it just gathered up dirt on the top of the roll where it wasn't sealed. And, you know, that roll was that big around of CSM, chop strand mat. Don't even know where it came from, and now I thought I had so much fiberglass on that roll it would last me a lifetime. But in the last 2 years, I got maybe enough left on the roll for maybe another hot rod body and maybe a boat, and then I'm out. I gotta resource some more chop strand. Now the boats can be done mostly with the woven cloth, just because it's stronger and it's lighter than the chop mat. But we were gonna do a video of me pulling this, popping the molds, but I did it last night. It was getting late, and I did it last night, and it was probably good we didn't videotape it because I fought with it, and I'm going to show you that right now. I'm going to take the top off. It's already loose, and it needs trimmed. All the fuzz, all these flanges need trimmed. The whole outside, needs a good trim. Just take it back a ½ an inch or so, because there's the actual top of the boat, will be that line right there. So this is just flange, and the reason I did a flange is because I might do like my other molds and bolt it to this, like do the layup, trim it, and then put the top and the bottom together and laminate like a wide strip of fiberglass around the inside seam to seal them together. Because I don't want a seam on the outside of the boat. That just, kind of like that boat, that has a seam on the outside of the boat. And I don't really like them when they do them like that. I'd rather do an overlap. So where the top actually overlaps the bottom piece of the mold. And then you just got this little overhang. That works good. I might make a new or another top mold and do it that way. This needs reinforcing, as you can see. It's a little wobbly. It's 3 layers of chop strand, but this is pretty flat. So this afternoon I think I might laminate some sticks on here just to, because as you can see it's still flexible. It's strong, it's light, but yeah, still flexible. So to get this part of the hull out of, it'll come right out, but I was sticking my my trusty old screwdriver. I got it all loosened up all the way around, broke this off with the screwdriver. It's just wood. That's why we have a wood stove. Because this boat is not going to be used again. Trust me, it got pretty beat up in the process. I figured get the nose up and then just peel it out. And I'm telling you, I broke that. It was a fight. I'm going to lift it up and you'll see. Yeah, you can see all the screwdriver marks. Because just wood, and I was trying to pry it up out of there. That's how this got broke. There's screwdriver puncture wounds. Well, not all the way around. And I know what it was. I can show you what it was. So that turned out nice. Now I can make me a nice fiberglass jet boat. Or I could run it as a prop boat too if I wanted. But so these strakes here, they're pretty good. Little funky back here. I maybe should have paid a little more attention to detail, because I know about this stuff, getting things locked in. But now this side, all these little dark spots, they go in that way. This strake is okay, but this particular one, so those dark spots that are in there, I can tell you what that is. That's wax. When I waxed it before so laminated, and I thought I could fill those little holes. That's definitely a hook, and I think that's why I had such a hard time, because when I put my finger in here, I can feel that it goes in that way, and I will definitely have to take care of that before you know, I laminate up a boat. I either have to put filler in it, or I just have to sand it smooth. I mean, it's not much. It's only, you know, a millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters where it goes in underneath there. And I think that's why I had such a hard time getting it to pop, because it was kind of, you know, it was locked in. That's really all I can say. But this boat that's been around for, oh geez, I'm gonna say it's been around for a long time. It's made its peace with me. Let's just put it that way. This thing sat on the shelf for more than a dozen years, and then I got, you know, when I kind of started Steven's boat up there on the shelf, it got me inspired to kind of re-look into my old wooden jet boat. And now the fun part, and you get to see it right here on camera. We make a sacrifice because it's cold out today. We got the wood stove going. We need some heat. Well, we have heat. There was a nice piece of hardwood in there that's already burned up. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Oh man, if this would fit in there, I'd jam it in there, but it's not gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. Am I an animal? No, I'm not an animal. I just like to show you where stuff goes when it's not of use anymore. Now this has fiberglass on it, but I'll tell you right now, the fiberglass does not burn, so I just collect it. I collect it out. You think it would melt from the heat? Are you ready? Should I? Should I jump on it? I'm going to jump on it.
I'm going to stand back a bit.
Yeah, that's the fiberglass holding it. It's pretty strong. Yeah, there's a bit of filler and some silicone. That's not going to hurt it. It was full of polyurethane foam. I dug all that out and threw it in the garbage. It would be nice if I could. As you can see, that fiberglass, it makes a pretty good bond. This is the stuff I love because I get to see kind of how stuff works. And as you can see, you know, that's just one layer of cloth laminate to the wood, but you can see how it bonds, but it doesn't really bond. Now this, I'm not going to throw that in the stove. You know, I'll just cut that up and I'll put that in the trash. The other pieces that are in there, of course the stove's just wailing now. It's just plywood. It's going to give us some good heat. I'll save this for after that burns down a bit. But yeah, like I say, the fiberglass doesn't burn, believe it or not. Okay, I gotta close the door. I can hear the heat. There, we gotta slow her down. I could hear it sizzling up in the pipe. But there you go, man. So now I've got this that I, you know, got to clean up that one strake right there. The rest of it, I didn't get any wrinkling, and all this gel coat, it was brushed in. I do have a step as you can see, a step because I used just masking tape. I'm not worried about that. Step will leave an impression you know, in the final product, but all these things, once it gets laminated around the edge, like, because the boat goes to there, right? Goes to the top corner. This flange was just purely put on there, and how I did the flange was with this stuff, just glued it, you know, on the wooden hull underneath, just so I could come up over the corner. If you just come straight up and kind of leave it straight up, it gets all this, gets all wavy. You don't get that nice straight edge. So it's nice to be able to come up and over. Plus it keeps this, you know, keeps this kind of strong. You know, so you can use it over and over and over. Same as how I did the inside. Use this plastic board, just glued it up underneath the rails all the way around, glued a piece here because the windshield just kind of come up and stopped on the wooden one, so I made it so I could go right over, and I can trim this out, you know, the inside. I can trim it kind of where this won't exist, this flange won't exist in the finished boat. The finished boat will just be this 90 degrees, that's it. And then I'll just cut the windshield from that corner around to that corner, and there'll only be like an inch inside there, and that's more for support than anything. But yeah, there's the inner windshield piece right there. Then laid my glass up against. Yeah, good stuff. Hot glue it in, some tape here and there. And I did a weight comparison. So the wooden one, obviously before it got destroyed, off camera I weighed it. It was 6.3 pounds. The wooden hull, just straight up, with the spray foam up in the nose of it. Yeah, so 6.3, just over 6 pounds. This mold is a triple layer. Oh, it's got the angel hair first. That don't weigh much, maybe you know, couple ounces of that, but 3 layers of chop strand, and even if you look on the bottom to make it even stronger, my last layer, I just covered it because I wasn't worried about air bubbles at that time. I used cloth. You can see the pattern. And I use cloth because, you know, cloth is stronger. It's stronger than chop mat because the pieces of glass are longer. But I weighed the mold, this mold right here, and I still have, you know, I still have all this stuff to trim off. And this was about 4. This was about 4.3. So 2 pounds lighter than the wooden hull. Not that weight really makes a difference, but I figure once I pull a boat from these molds, get it glued together, get my wooden rails, you know, kind of glued in there, it's still going to be less than 6 pounds. Probably going to be maybe 5 pounds. So be lighter than the wooden one. And I just think it, you know, the inside of that wooden one, you got to see it on the camera. It is ugly looking. There's like, you know, bits and pieces of wood going up and down the, you know, the keel, and those ugly rails that were in there, and it was just ugly. I want one nice and clean, and we're going to set it up with a 26cc water-cooled engine. The pump this afternoon, I am going to kick the 3D printer into gear because I got some new filament. It's 20% carbon fiber, so I got to make a new pump. The pump that was in the wooden boat, nothing wrong with it. It's up there on the shelf in a box. It came out nice and clean. I didn't break it this time. It come out in one piece. But I might try one just a smidge smaller. I might try a 40 millimeter. Just because I've been kind of searching the internet, And what I've come across quite a bit, I'm on a couple of jet boat groups, and what I've come across is, yeah, a lot of guys are running 40 millimeter. They're not running those great big, 50 millimeters, by the way, is 2-inch impeller. 40 millimeter, I believe, is you're about 1.5 impeller, maybe 1.75. So it's just a tiny bit smaller, but yeah, this, I think a fiberglass one will be so sweet. I'm not worried about the weight. Probably I might even put a couple extra strips of the cloth in there just to reinforce the bottom, because that's what takes all the brunt. Especially, you watch me driving, and I drive over top of rocks and crap like that. Come on, you seen it in the video. Oh, there's a rock. Oh, there's a rock. Hey, shit happens. But anyhow, there you go, man. Saturday afternoon video talking about the jet boat and some 3D printing, and you get to see me launch that wooden piece of crap into the... Oh, it's nice and warm now, man. But, yeah, man, there you have it. Hope you come back and watch more of the jet boat build, because today, get this stuff trimmed up, and I'll probably get these pieces laid up to actually start putting glass. I don't know if I'll get to putting glass in them today, because I like to let my gel coat cure for 4 hours. Yesterday was kind of great because it was nice outside, so after I gel coated this piece, I put it outside so it could kind of cure in the sun. It was warm enough, and I let it go about 4 hours, and then I glassed it. I glassed it up. But yeah, so now I've got some cleanup. Obviously get all the PVA off, get the fur trimmed off of it, and yeah, it'd be nice to maybe be working on one of these, like putting the pump and stuff in it this upcoming week. Maybe order a motor, because as far as I know, that's all I really need for it is I don't want to run this trimmer motor I had in it, because we already know what to expect. And the weight of this is over 5 pounds. We weighed a Zenoa motor, and the Zenoa motor, it's a smaller little unit, nice liquid cooled jug. I got lots of hot pipes I can run on it. I like this setup with my throttle servo right at the carburetor. But the only thing I might do is make the bottom of the bracket longer to get the servo out of the way of the opening, just because these things are prone to spit fuel out this way when they're running. Not that it's going to affect the servo. What's it going to do, man? Lubricate it? That's about it. Spitting fuel and oil on it. I think it would be fine. But yeah, so there you go. We put a lighter mill in it, lighter hull. This thing should be a rocket ship, but I've said that before, and it wasn't the case. As far as the electric one, I'm still doing research on electric motors and ESCs, and I'm almost there. I'm so close to pulling the trigger on ordering, some more stuff. But I'm so scared, man, because I don't like just dumping money on these electronic stuff. And well, you saw what happened, man. Pop that $100 ESC, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of. I don't want to buy some more stuff and in the testing stages in the swimming pool, Pop. Next time I'll be videotaping it for sure, though. Yeah, we will be doing that very soon. You'll just have to come along for the ride. Anyhow, man, that's all I got for you today. Maybe we'll do something tomorrow, something totally different. But yeah, Shark Customs, man. Share, like, subscribe. Keep coming back. Peace. I'm out.